Good morning. I think I've done it. I think I'm finally live. I've done it. Yes, I have. Technical difficulties. I couldn't get my SIM card to work. Then I couldn't get my hotspot to work. Technical difficulties. I couldn't get my SIM card to work. Then I couldn't get my hotspot to work. Oh, I can't turn it off. Turn it off. That's it. Oh, that's not good. I didn't want that to happen. I'm going to need help at some point, but good morning. I'm streaming from a lovely place called Hitchin. Going for an early morning walk. I need an extra pair of hands, I know that. It's a god awful time here in the UK. It's 4:30 in the morning. Worked for 42 years and get up this time every morning and retire and think, oh, now I can lay in. And no, my body says you've got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So what I do is I go for early morning walks, and today I'm going to take you with me. I need an extra pair of hands, I know that. Right, let's try this. Turn around and go like that. Right, I'm starting off here in a recreation park called Bancroft. Nice quiet place. I'm just going to take you for a walk around Hitchin with me. Oh, how the hell do you streamers do this? Right, let's have a look. I've got chat open in front of me. Morning Raven. Mama Swig, hello. And who else have we got here? Mike, good morning. Ah, Ira's with us. Thank you, Ira. That's nice of you to join us. Didn't expect that. Let's see if this works. Nope, doesn't work. I've set up a lot of commands and a lot of the commands aren't working, and as it's my first day, right. Now, Hitchin is a market town, a well-known market town here in Hertfordshire. Oh. And over the years it's spread out and it's encompassed all the villages that it used to serve as a market town to become one small town of about, I think it's about 17 villages have all encompassed into Hitchin now. Who else we got here? Hello Sam, good morning. Oh, we've got a little bit of sleep. Yeah, didn't get into bed till 12:30 and woke up at 3. Obviously thinking about today. Oh, it is nice weather here. It's very nice. It's very. You can see from the sky over there. It's a very nice day. In fact, the moon is up there. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. One thing I found with these Action 4 cameras, you can't zoom in with them. You can only zoom in them if you use them in normal mode, but to stream them, you've got to use them in webcam mode. So as a result, I can't zoom in. I can move my arm forward, but that makes a lot of difference. Yeah, over there, shame I can't get to see that, but over there's a great sunrise going on. The only thing is, the old English saying of red sky in the morning, shepherd's warning, means that today is not going to be a very nice day. And from what I've seen of the weather, it's going to be a bit wet this afternoon. But, yeah. Right. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a climb. I'm going up a hill. What I want to do is I'm going to take you to a view. Oh, ambulance. I want to take you up to the top of a hill, which gives me a lovely view over Hitchin. Gives you an idea of the spread of the place. I've always called Hitchin Brigadoon because no matter which angle you come into the place, you can't see it. No matter which roadway and which trainway you come in, you can't see it. And all of a sudden, it's there. It appears in front of you. It's on top of you. It's sort of set into a dip in the land, so it's quite hidden by all the trees and that. Oh boy. Hope you guys can hear me all right. Let's have a look. Era, I tell you what, I apologise for all the times I've said you'd miss my messages because I don't know how you do it. I really don't. What we got here? Mama Sweet, Raven. Yeah, it's been like that quite a bit, Mama Sweet. Sun in the mornings. We get nice sharp mornings, and then it just deteriorates as the sun comes up. The cloud forms, and before we know it, we've got cloud and rain. Typical English weather, of course. Sound is good, thank you, Raven. Thank you, Ira. Yeah, I've actually linked up the phone to an external mic, a DJI mic, which is there, and I've got an external speaker, but I don't think that's working. I've had to turn the sound down on the mobile because it's picking up my broadcast. As you can see, the clouds starting to gather already. The houses in Hitchin are all over the show. They're all different styles and different characters. Hitchin is a really old town. It's mentioned in the Domesday Book, which is a book compiled by the Normans when they invaded Britain after the Battle of Hastings, and then they recorded all the local lands and everything. And Hitchin is actually mentioned in that, but Hitchin goes back way further than that because there's a lot of records about King Offa being here. King Henry VIII has been here. There's all sorts of kings and that have been in this place, and even up to the present day with the Queen Mother, the mother of Queen Elizabeth II. She was born in Hitchin, and she was even schooled in Hitchin. And her daughters, Queen Elizabeth II and Princess Margaret, were also brought up in Hitchin as children. They'd often be seen walking into town and visiting the town. I'll show you more of the town later on, and you'll see it's a mixture of old and new. When I say old and new, it dates back to 14th, 15th century. It's quite interesting. Right, I've got a big hill I'm going to climb now. I'm going to across the road. Have a good chat. What have we got on chat? Yes, you're right, I'm shocked at the number of people that have come into my chat. It just amazes me. Such a good community Ira's got, and you've all come out to support me. It's very kind of you. Right, across the road. Yeah, look at that sky. That's incredible. Shame I can't get to a position where I can give you a good view. I need to get my bike to do that and go out to the fields, out towards the lavender fields. I'll do that one morning for you. Right. Right, I'm hoping the signal maintains up here. I don't see why it shouldn't. It's pretty good at the moment. And this is taking me up to the top of a hill, which was called, if I can remember correctly, Ramplings Hill, named after a mill owner who had a windmill on top of the hill. Today, it's called Windmill Hill, of course. I like Hitchin. Hitchin, it's a beautiful place to be in. As you can see, there's trees everywhere. It's quite a leafy place. Yeah, the sky is on fire this time of the morning, which is, it looks pretty, but it's not good because, as I said to us Brits, it's a warning that the day is going to be a bit rough. And generally in the UK it is. I'm pleased to see Ryvan here. He said to me he gets ready for work this time of the morning and he has to shoot off at 5:30. And I'm very honoured that he's turned up. And oh dear. Trying to keep up chatting and watching where I'm going and everything. As you can see, these are quite large houses here. I can tell you it's not cheap to live in here, Hitchin. I've lived here, I don't know how long I've lived in Hitchin for now. Near on 22 years I think I've lived up this way. And when I first bought a house here it was quite cheap. When I had to sell it through my divorce, I made quite a bit on it, and obviously didn't get to keep it all, but I had some of it. And I bought myself a small flat, which is 2 bedroom, and I can't believe the price I can sell that at now. How youngsters these days are going to buy property and that. I know my son, he had to lease originally. We could do it, but the lease, the things he was paying to rent a place was more than what a mortgage cost, and he couldn't get a mortgage at all. Fortunately, he's got himself a decent job now, and he's on the ladder, and he's got his own property, which is nice. It is quiet this time of the morning area, you're right. It's part of the reason why I like walking this time of the morning. It's very pleasant indeed. The birds and that, and the properties are just incredible up here. You don't get much change from about 2 million for these properties. Some roses. All right. Let's say Hitchin is a market town. Originally, all the outlying villages, and which are now part of Hitchin, but they were originally isolated villages and farmland. They used to come into Hitchin and sell their wares. And Hitchin had a big trade of cattle, sheep, pigs. The wool trade was big. Arable stuff like wheat, corn, all that was quite big at the time. And also, which it's still famous for now, it's lavender fields. Out to the north of the country, out to the north of Hitchin, there's huge expanses of lavender fields, and when they're in bloom, it's just something else to see. Really pretty. Yeah, you're right. It is impossible to buy a place when you're a youngster, unless you've got wealthy parents that can help them out and set them off. It's getting a lot like a lot of European countries, but the only way people can live now is by renting, and the only people that have homes are family homes, which are just passed on, or they live together as a family. Good night, Mike. Thanks for popping in. It's very kind of you. Take care. Oh. How am I doing, guys? This is frightening. Right, I'm at the top of this road. I'm going to cross over. Yeah. Right, I'm just going to turn into Windmill Hill, and I'm going to give you a nice little view over Hitchin. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. There we go, around here. The trees in Hitchin, I just love them. It's just everywhere. Whew. something else you see when you walk about this time of the morning is wildlife, because they're not hiding away from people. They're doing their wood pigeons. Wood pigeons are quite common. As a streamer Kuman wants to calls them bougie pigeons, because they look prettier than a normal pigeon. Right, I'm coming to a view. Right, it's always worth walking up that steep hill just to come to this, and as you can see, yes, it is the green era. A lot of that is helped by the fact we've had a lot of rain recently, so it's all in bloom. It's nice to see the trees like they are, because when we get that intense heat, which generally keeps coming lately, they get burnt out quite quickly. And this is Hitchin. As you can see, what I was saying about, I call it Brigadoon because it's hidden away and it just suddenly appears upon you as you're approaching. If you look around, it's so covered in trees, it's very well hidden. Oh. As I said, Hitchin dates from way back, from King Offa and way back then, but it's developed in 14th, 15th century, it developed into a big market town, and it just expanded from there. As you can see, it's an incredible place. Ooh. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know how wide this camera shows it, but down there is, in the middle, is St Mary's Church. I'll show you more of that later when I get down. I'm going to walk down that way. But the view here is just incredible. I say I moved here 20 odd years ago, and I moved here from a place called Chatham in Kent. And Chatham in Kent is just, it was built, well, it grew up around the dockyard, the old Royal Dockyard down there, and it was just terraced housing upon terraced housing. And you couldn't hardly see the sky, you didn't see much greenery and everything. And after a while, I mean, I lived there for 39 years, but I got depressed of the place. And I got married and everything, so we decided, the kids were old enough to move because they were just moving on to college, that we'd move up here. We didn't intend to come in here. When we came here, we just fell in love with the place. But this is countryside all the way around. Hitchin's not much more than a mile and a half, 2 miles. I don't know what that is in kilometres, but wide. That's it. And then you've got greenbelt land, which they do keep trying to build on, but everyone, you know, petitions against it and it stops it. Right. I'm going to take you, oops, down the hill. Let's have a look. Oh, it's quite chilly this morning. It must have been clear skies overnight because it's quite fresh. I'm glad I put my thicker top on rather than my usual thinner one. Right. So this was Windmill Hill, and up here around this area there was a windmill which used to mill corn to produce flour, and that was here. I can't remember how long it was here for, but I think it was in the 1900s it finally went. And then all this land, which was bought by someone else, a local gentry family, they eventually gave it to the people of Hitchin. So it's now just common land, never allowed to build on it. It belongs to the people of Hitchin. And as you can see, it's quite a steep hill. This is nice when we get snow, which is rarer and rarer these days, but when we get snow you can imagine the kids having fun going up and down here on their sledges. They really love it. I'm going to cut across the hill because the view coming down is quite nice. There's more hitching down there. I don't know how this is looking on the screen. I hope it's not too distant and you can get a feel of it. It's just pretty. I love it. Hitching has evolved, as I said, through the centuries. So you'll get you get old buildings in there, and you also get modern buildings. If you look at the end of that road, there's an extremely modern building built in the 1970s, which is so out of character. And in the 1970s, some of the properties they used to build then just did not marry in with other buildings around it. But nowadays they tend to be a bit more sympathetic and try and match things in. I count myself very lucky to be living up here. It's such a nice area. It's still dark in Lisbon. Yeah, I find that. I find that it's like your sunset time is an hour or so before our sunset time. As you can see, these are more of a Georgian style building, and then you go along and you get that monstrosity on the end, which is a 1980s construct, which just looks totally out of place. Right. I'm going to give you an initial view of the church. I'll show you more of the church when I get round there, walk around that way, but I'm just going to take a walk past it to show you what it's like. Across the road. Hello, Enhancer, thank you. Well, what I've done with this stream is, I say it's my first time streaming, and what I've done is I've looked at IRL, I've looked at Sarah Bridgewater, and I've looked at Kuma and seen how they've broadcast. And what I've done, I've tried to take in what they do and choose the best bits as possible. And I don't like having phones out. And it's so easy to set up with just two phones and start streaming, but I just didn't want to have two phones visible all the time. I'd much rather have just the one phone out which I can look after. So I use an Action 4 camera, which I've seen Sarah use, which the quality of it is always good, and the stabilisation of it is good as well. So I've used that. Oh, Enhancer, thank you for following me. Thank you for telling me out, Ira. I should put the events list on, I think. It might be in there. Nope, doesn't display in there. Oh, that's no good. Right, hidden behind now is St Mary's Church. Down there is the River Hitch. And it's spelt H-I-Z, and the Z being T-H-C is how you pronounce it, and that's where the town gets its name from. And this just flows through the centre of the town. Very beautiful, very peaceful. A lot of people come down here to see the ducks and the birds. And in migration season, they all call in here at some point. As you can see, it's very beautiful here. I've taken numerous photos of this place, especially as the sun comes up, because it sometimes lights it up. Let's quickly pop down here. I'm going to walk this way in a minute. Let's move a bit closer. And this church dates back to 700 AD. The first church was built here, and over the years it progressively got bigger and bigger. Lovely. Lovely. Bougie pigeons, yeah. Lots and lots of ducks. So in towards the winter months, when the birds start to migrate, you get the geese fly in here, sort of stop off on the way south, and occasionally you get the odd one or two geese that remain here all winter long. They just seem to want to stay here. Right, I'll take a move on. That building in front of me there, that's the old British Telecoms, or as Ryden probably remembers it, Post Office Telecommunication Centre. It's where the telephone exchange used to be, and of course now it's all digitalised and all computerised. They've just sold it off, and as you can see by the sign on the side, it's now used as a fitness centre. Place there for Ryden, the Bricklayers Arms. You put quack. They don't work on my stream. I've got to figure out how to put sounds and that on. I've certainly got to sort out this alerts. Yes, it is a pub. Hitchin, when I first came here, had 57 pubs, believe it or not. 57 pubs. There's a lot less now, it's below 30, I believe now. That there, down in here, is Hitchin Market. It's what the market is like now. Reportedly to be over 150 stalls in there, and it's one of the biggest markets in Hertfordshire. They hold various markets there. Tuesdays is food market, Wednesdays is, what do you call it? Well, they sell off antiques and stuff. Right. Hope you can hear the birds singing, because that is so lovely, walking and hearing the birds. Oh. Right, I'm going to take you along this road here and then turn right into town and start showing you the old buildings in Hitchin. It's just, you look at it as a modern petrol station that once was, and then you've got houses from, oh, that's probably a Georgian house, and then next to it there's a modern 1930s house. And it's just another thing they do in Hitchin is this: they find little patches hidden away behind buildings and build new properties. That's becoming quite common, but again, not for the ordinary person to buy. I couldn't buy that, that's too expensive. Some lovely old buildings along here. What time is the market opening? It opens at 9 normally. They'll be turning up in an hour or so, starting to set up. Right. The building now is an old Edwardian Victorian school, and all the rooms inside it have been maintained in the original state. So Ryden probably remembers this. It's got the old slate boards and everything in there, the old wooden desks and everything are kept in there. It's open to the public. It originally was the main school in Hitchin, but obviously as Hitchin grew, it was too small, so they expanded it and then moved out. The local Hertfordshire College took it over for a while, and then I think the 1990s, It just fell into disrepair, and then local trust took it on, and they've restored it very well. It's very good. Yeah, so some of the modern buildings fit in quite well. This here, I think this is old 1970s apartment blocks or flats. Not exactly the best architecturally designed, but there you go. Another pub there for Ray. It's the Half Moon. It's also a hotel, and I stayed in there when I first was looking for places up here. I took a train up here and I stayed in that hotel in there. It's very nice, very old world inside. I stayed there and spent the day looking for places. But the beer in there is nice. The beer in most of the places in Hitchin are nice. And that modern looking building there, believe it or not, was a bus station, a London country bus station. Got disused after 1950s. And stayed in disrepair, used as garage for workshops and stuff, and then it just fell disrepair. And then someone bought it up and converted it into a couple of flats. Again, not cheap. This Books and Prints here, this used to be a long established bookshop. You could go in there and any book you wanted, they'd get for you. Very good. They had a lot of old books as well. This road, which is called Bridge Street, primarily because there's a bridge that goes over the River Hitch. Every building down this road, apparently, apart from this new structure here, was a pub at some point. There were breweries down here and everything, and it was quite well known for it. Look how old that building looks there. Wouldn't this, I think, well for your fountain pen. I thought it would be more chalk and slate board for you. I haven't. Sorry. A lot of these buildings, especially this really old building here, that obviously dates way back. That's definitely 14th century. At some point that was a coaching inn. The entrance there obviously for the coach and horses to go under. But I remember that building era saw down in Canterbury that was leaning. Look at how that has moved over the years. That's because it's purely made of wood. The brick infill's modern, but it's purely made of a timber structure with what they call lath and plaster, which is what infills between the wood bits. Really fantastic building. All right, this is the River Hitch, and the River Hitch now is got a lot smaller. I think it's smaller still as it goes up further. Look at that. That's a nice shot. It's the sort of place you could sit and have a bite to eat and a few drinks. The water babbling down there. Lovely. And the old building there. It's nice. It's nice. Niagara Falls. Yeah, a little bit smaller. See again, a new building being built in between. But it's not too bad. They've tried to keep it in similar sort of style. This is where we come to the town proper. On the right here is what is Hitchin Priory, which was a Benedictine monastery at one point, and now it's been converted into a business. What do you call it? Business place where they come to learn things. It's the hotel in there. Right, I will take you this way through the town. I don't know what all the bunting's up for. There must be some sort of celebration going on. Ah, it's Hitchin Festival. Ah, that's on. Hitchin Festival is going to be on soon. There's a bakery where I get my rye bread from. It's a really nice bakery. As you can see, what I was telling you about the old buildings and how old Hitchin is. All these roads. Okay. All these roads spread off from the market square, as it's called now, and spread out over the centuries. See what we've got now. This here. Here's another coaching inn. That used to be a pub. I can't remember the name of it, but that used to be a pub there. And that is another one of the many coaching inns. Of course, before the railway came, the only way people got round the UK was by stagecoach, as you probably call it. Horses pulling a coach along. And Hitchin would be a stopping point because it's about 30 miles away from London. That's it now. See, nice building. Hitchin's actually got a Wetherspoons, and the Wetherspoons used to be the Conservative Party headquarters in Hitchin. But not many people vote Conservative these days, and Wetherspoons ended up buying up. Now this next building is interesting. It's the Sun Pub. This, believe it or not, is 14th century, but what has happened is, in the Georgian period, which I think was about the 1700s, 1800s, they built brick fascias on the front of buildings, and you find that all through Hitchin. A lot of old timber buildings have brick fascias put on them to make them look better. So although externally it looks Georgian, internally it's actually way back to the 14th century, which is quite impressive. Now here we go, 1970 buildings built in here. This is planned to go. They've got a scheme to replace all this, hopefully with something that looks a bit more in keeping with Hitchin. Hello Sydney, oh thank you for popping in. Hello Midgie, thank you for chatting. Oh, God, Sid, I'm honoured Sid, thank you. Oh, I think my hand's frozen to my selfie stick. It is a bit colder than I expected. Now this is what I said was what we call the market square. The market's not held here anymore, it's held where I showed you earlier on. But this originally wasn't like this. The buildings there, where the bank and where Starbucks is, they didn't exist. That all extended out and went down into a triangle to further down. Right, I'm going to cut across the square. Cut across the square. See, this modern is so out of place with this, but that's progress. That's what happens. You can't keep everything, and as new generations come on, they build new things. Fortunately, the more modern generation are more sympathetic towards it all. Right, that building there, which is called the Glass House, which is now a cocktail bar, the one with the I don't know what you call it on top, tower on top, that was the corn exchange, and that was where all the dealing was done for all the corn that was brought into Hitchin. Right. I'll take you to walk you up through a little arcade. I'm not done with the town yet, I'm going to come back here. I'll take you up a little arcade that we've got. Hopefully the signal will stay. And it's doing quite well. I'm impressed how this is working. What is the temperature here now? It's about 7 degrees, I believe. In here is what we call the arcade. And these are all little bespoke shops, I suppose you call them. Independent shops. Quite a lot of independent shops in Hitchin. That's what attracts people to it. This was built in the 1920s. This again was a coaching inn through here. And in the 1920s they've renovated it and done it up as a okay, and you find all sorts of shops and stuff, hairdressers, barbers. I notice when there's a downfall in the economy, you just get barbers and hairdressers pop up everywhere. That is a nice little shop place. Angel Share because it sells whiskies. Well, I'm just going to skip up and out and then I'll drop back into town. Good morning, Rubik Cuba. Thank you for popping in and watching my stream. Yes, it's my first stream and I hope I'm doing all right. I have got 2 other streams planned for next week. Taking inspiration from Ira, whose recent visit to London, so I'm going to do a London stream next week. They won't be long streams. I'm just finding my feet at the moment. I'm going to do one in London and another one I'm going to do in Kent, which is sort of a walk back into my past when my dad used to take me. And I'll show you some nice places down there. Hopefully the weather's going to be good next week, so that'll be great. Right, let's get moving. Lovely sky, look at that sun. Yeah, you're right here, it is a bit cold. My right hand has gone bright red where I'm holding onto this. Right, I'm gonna walk here then to go back into town. But I want to take you down what I believe is one of the oldest streets in Hitchin. A lot of old properties. This is the only thing to me that destroys Hitchin is the traffic we get through here during the day. Unfortunately, it's a major link between the A1 and M1, and you get a lot of traffic through here. There is a bypass that cuts most of it out, but unfortunately we do get quite a bit through here. And that's why this next street, which used to be the main road, is no longer a main road. That's why they built the bypass, because this street could never take the traffic we've got today. Yeah. Don't let me stream in London stop you from coming to London. I could stream London for the rest of my life and I'd never cover it all. And as I said before, I've been in London. I worked in London for 25 years, and in that 25 years, I never saw all of London. And I used to travel up London before that, go visit places, and I still haven't seen it all. And still find new places to discover. Hopefully the signal will stay through here. Lots of alleyways in Hitchin. Lots of back roads. Right. This is Tyler Street. This used to continue across here till they built the bypass through it. It was the main road. And this has got some of the best and oldest houses in Hitchin. It's hard to believe that this was amongst the main road and had heavy lorries and that whizzing up and down it. Now these houses down here, majority of them are 14th century. And believe it or not, none of them are cheap. A wooden house from the 14th century cost over £1 million. It's unbelievable. Oh look, Ryven, another pub. Oh, good era. I'm glad you're going to come back. Ooh. God, I wish I was in Toronto. 21 degrees. Whew. See what I was saying about how they build in spaces behind all the old buildings here in Hitchin. That was an old, if I remember correctly, there's an old brewery in there, and the land was cleared and they built apartment blocks. This is the Cooper's Arms. Very oldie world inside. It's a place to go in the winter when they've got the open fires going. Oh, I'm glad it's a nice morning. Many pubs, yes, Ryland. As I said, there used to be 57 pubs in Hitchin. When I first moved here, before that there was a load more than that. But then that was the English culture. No one drunk the fresh water because it wasn't fresh water. And what they used to do is they used to brew beer as a refreshment because that was the only way they could ensure that the product they were drinking was safe. Of course, it's the other way now. People don't drink it because it's, well, they do drink it because it's refreshing, but they don't drink it because the water's not safe. Again, yet another, what was a coaching inn. Yeah. Clouds are starting to build already. That's how it's been going lately. It's been clear mornings. Yesterday morning was quite I'm glad I didn't do my first stream yesterday. It poured down. But today's a beautiful morning. Take care, Ray. Mind how you go to work. Don't let me distract you. Listen to that, quiet, absolutely lovely. How's the sound? Can you hear me all right? Is it not too loud or too soft or anything? Thank you, Ryven. Take care. Morning.
All right, mate?
Yep. Sound is great, sounds really good. Thank you very much. Oh, that's good. sit still here. Oh, another old street. Oh. Again, this is another one of those streets that sprawls off from the market square. This here was the George Inn, and yet again there was another coaching house, a coaching inn. That's new. Oh. Unfortunately, the economic times of this place is that many businesses start going out. This was Hitchin's unique department store. They owned all these buildings on the end here. Unfortunately, they went out of business. It's gradually getting renovated and other businesses taking it over, but it was sad to see it go. We're coming back into the market square again. I'm going to take you across to the church, show you the church. Hello, I'm back. Oh, that's my first disconnect. For some reason my camera went off. I don't know if you heard me. It says thanks for coming along and sleep well. Catch you again sometime. Yet another pub. Riven would love this place. It's the Rose and Crown. It's another old building. Not as old as the others we've seen. A lot of hitching has been used in TV series. It featured in Humans, which is a thing about AI robots. Right, this here is St Mary's Church. Very old. Before I go into the church grounds, this here is a war memorial in remembrance of the people of Hitchin that went and fought in the First and Second World Wars. This is St Mary's Church. Now, so originally this was first founded in 700. Prior to that, this was another Benedictine monastery, but that burnt down, and that's when they moved to where the Hitchin Priory is now. And then a church was formed here. But over the centuries, it's been expanded. The tower was built in the 12th century, and I believe it was expanded to what you see now shortly after that. As you can see, there's a lot of brickwork where modern day renovations have taken place on it. That's before. I mean, it's expensive to renovate these places, and sometimes they just don't get the money, and the only way they can do to keep the building safe and is to modernise it using bricks. Walk around here. It's lovely inside this church. It's got some original features. The angel screen inside and the font are original. It's open to the public 9 till 4 every day. But if they've got service on or someone's having a wedding there, unfortunately you can't go in. But for a small town, this is quite impressive, this church. It is a nice church. It's a lovely building. Of course, all around it are gravestones, which unfortunately through time you can't read them. But I should imagine most of them are fairly old. Now we're at the other side of the River Hitch, where all the ducks are resting. Sun's starting to come up hopefully soon because my hand is frozen. And what I like about churches in England are stained glass windows. Better viewed from inside because then you've got the light going through them. But they often tell a story of some form. Ira, thank you for being here. I hope it's not past your bedtime and I'm keeping you up. Squirrel over there. I was hoping to see some black squirrels because there's quite a lot of black squirrels in this area. That is clearly a grey one going up the tree. Beautiful. Stunning place. As you can hear, you probably can hear the traffic in the background now building up. It's getting on for 5:30 and people are starting to wake up and go to work, especially those that have got a long commute. Right. 21:36 in LA. That's something I've learned watching here is different time zones and now people have, when I'm fast asleep, they're wide awake, and it's amazing how that's like that around the world. Oh, I'm glad you're awake as well, Ira. I'm honoured that you've actually come to watch me. I really am. Oh. Right, this leads back down to the river Hitch. Well, I'll take you down there, walk that way. And I'll walk up the other side. Hope so far I've kept you entertained, or I've shown you something of my hometown. And I hope the stream's been steady enough. That's, I think it's pretty good actually, because there's stabilisation in the camera. This in here is the market, as is now. They're all empty at the moment, no one's setting up yet. It's a little bit early. If I was here yesterday, that would be buzzing in there now. People setting up all the fruit stalls and all the local produce. Melissa, thank you for coming along. Oh, I can't believe all these people that have turned up just to watch me do a walk and stream. But it's good because it's achieving what I was hoping to achieve by walking. Because the whole idea, getting the inspiration from Ira and others to stream what I do, what I enjoy doing, and to share it with people, because not everyone can get out and see these places. And it's nice to share it. Yeah, it just seems the right thing to do. Beautiful. Yeah, clouds starting to build up. Yeah, that's not good. Whew. Oh, it's sad to heat your powers out, Melissa. That drives me mad when we lose electricity. Panic sets in because of the old freezer with all the food that's stored in there. Because I tend to buy bulk and store it in the freezer, and when the power goes off, there's always this fear that it's going to be off for too long and it starts to defrost and it gets ruined. I hope it comes on soon for you. God, I'm so lucky with the weather this morning. It's the guys cleaning out the grate. There's a little waterfall there where the water drops a level, and every now and then they have to clean the grate, otherwise it blocks up and then it starts to flood this side. Right, I'll take you back through this way. Little spots like this are nice and hitching. And you generally can come and sit here, buy some food in town, come and sit here and relax. Generally the sun stays off this area because of the huge trees we have overhead. Whew. Yeah, most mornings because I'm always up early, it's a nice morning, I'll go out and walk. In the winter I tend to walk more. In the summer I tend to get on my bike and go for a bike ride. I did think of doing that this morning, going for a bike ride, but I haven't got a really decent way of mounting the microphone. Sorry, the camera. I do have a thing on my shoulder strap, but it tends to point the camera upwards. I can't get it. It's not straight. It goes off to one side. Probably because the bag's too small for me. Morning.
Good morning.
All right. As you can see, Hitchin's a friendly town. People talk to each other, say hello. This is going to be my final stretch. Am I using a gimbal? No, I'm not using a gimbal here. I wanted a DJI Action 4 camera, so I looked online and I found a very cheap package. I'm quite surprised how cheap it was. The camera, complete with, it's actually called the Adventure Pack, I think it was. And it came with spare batteries, fixing mounts, and also a selfie stick. And I thought that'd be ideal for what I want. And that's all it is. The reason why I think that you're probably thinking I'm using a gimbal because the picture's very steady is because the Action 4 camera has a horizontal correction thing in it. So no matter how I hold the camera, it'll always stay perfectly in alignment. But yeah, it's really smooth. I remember it because I remember watching Sarah Bridgewater do her streams on a cycling. She used to use one of these great big Sony cameras mounted on her shoulder. They're huge things they were, and the quality on that was good, but it was bouncing around everywhere. And then when she switched to the Action 4 cameras, it just changed it completely. And it didn't matter how many bumps and whatever she went over, the picture quality stayed straight. So that's why I opted for the camera. Plus it's small, it's really small. Small and obtrusive. I don't like, as I said earlier on, I don't like having two phones out. I don't feel safe having two phones. But this here, that used to lead straight into the market. All the houses that are in the middle there weren't there, and that was all market. And this is what is called Bancroft. The name Bancroft comes from the fact that all the crofters, which were people that had sheep, pigs, would come here, tether them all up and sell them. And this whole street, originally years gone by, would have been full of sheep and pigs and cattle on market day, all being traded. Of course, it doesn't happen nowadays, and that's why the street is so wide as it is. And as you can see, we've still got all the older buildings. The buildings are still on the old. As I say, you do get the odd 1970 stuff, which doesn't fit in. I'm hoping I've switched on the right thing in Twitch to save this as a VOD, because I'd like to look back over it and see what I've done wrong or what I've done right. And I need to ask you here some questions as well on your setup and how you monitor what you're doing. I mean, there must be a way I can put it on screen. I've tried to put it on here, but for some reason the sound comes out on my speaker, and I don't want that. I'm going to have to find some way of muting it. Coaching inns everywhere, another one. So all horse and coaches all died when the railway came here in the 1800s. Even though the railway was actually a mile away from the centre of Hitchin. Oh, that's cool. It will be safe for some time. Good, good. I know it doesn't get saved as long as it does if you're an affiliate or partner. But, oh. And what I was telling you about how the old buildings remain and they hide stuff behind here, again another coaching in through there. There's a Sainsbury's, a big supermarket, and it's hidden around the back, which is quite nice. Oh. But Hitchin's a nice place to come and spend a few minutes walking around and just to look at the place, look at the old buildings. I wish I'd written more history down so I could give you more history on it. I don't know how you manage to hold your phone on that and your selfie stick as long as you do, because my arm's aching and I've only been holding this a little while, and the little tiny camera I've got on it is nothing. It's nothing compared to carrying a heavy phone. Right. Cut through here. Sun's coming up nice and well now. Oh, I can feel the heat from that. It's nice. It is a very nice and cosy place. When I retired, I was looking at going to Austria. I couldn't do that because we came out of the EU, and people were telling me, oh, you should sell up and move and go somewhere in the country. But I thought, well, no. Hitchin's a lovely place. It's peaceful, it's cosy, it's convenient because it's only 30 minutes from London. This beautiful place is just 30 minutes from London. We've got an airport just to the slightly to the west of us, Luton Airport. And we've got Stansted down in the east. We've got Gatwick, the trains from here go to Gatwick. So I've got easy access to all the airports to go for when I want to go travelling in Europe and abroad. I just don't want to move from here. Oh, enjoy your work, right? I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. After 42 years of working, it was nice to get away from it and retire early as well. If you get the chance to do it right. It's the best thing I've ever done. It's funny. People said to me, oh, what are you going to do when you retire and everything? And I don't know, my mind is still young. My body tells me it's old, but my mind is still young. And discovering Twitch is one of the best things I think I've ever discovered, because it's opened my eyes up to a lot of things. And retiring early has helped, because the thing is, if you work to the day you officially retire, which is 67 now for most of them, I don't know what my health's going to be like when I'm 67. So I just thought, well, I've got to go. I've got to get out and enjoy myself, and I have. It's like being reborn. It is good to have access to the airports. They are very convenient. I have done, on many occasions, day trips across to Austria, because I love Salzburg. And all I do is catch an early morning train, go down to Stansted, get a Ryanair out to Salzburg, and I spend the day there and fly back, and I'm usually back home indoors by midnight. And I have a nice long day in Salzburg. It's just having a long holiday. So it is very convenient being where I am. And of course, as you found out here, when you've been in London, the transport system is pretty good. And of course, being ex-railway like I am, I'm fortunate that I don't have to pay for such things. Well, guys, we've gone in full circle. I don't know how long I've been streaming for. I've been streaming for quite a while. I can tell that because I've never talked so much in my life. And I forgot to bring a bottle of water with me. So, S5, and I recommend it if you can afford to go at 60 go. It's sort of, you realise once you come out of the environment of working all the time that you were always just a number. There's no one important in the jobs you were doing, and to come away from that environment and be free, and it is just like being reborn again. You can watch IRL more as well. Right. Ooh. Oh. Typical of British parks, many of them built in the Victorian time, is bandstands, and this is the bandstand here in Bancroft Rec. Rec stands for recreation ground. This is still used. They often have rock bands come in here and play, and jazz musicians play in here on weekends, so it's often quite used. Oh, let's see. Turn it round. That's me again. Right. That was my first stream. I don't know how it went. I should look at it later on. I hope you've enjoyed my little stream. I say I've got 2 more planned for next week, possibly Monday or Tuesday. It'll be London and a place in Kent I'm going to go to relive my childhood. I don't know why that keeps doing that. Again, my camera switched off. I'm going to have to look into that. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Ira, for being here. Thank you, Rubik, for being here. Thank you, all of you, for being here. I'm just thankful. And hopefully, in the future, my streams get better and better. Thank you, Ira. Thank you very much. You're very kind. Thank you, Rubik Cuba. Oh dear. Right. So, I don't know if anyone's available to raid. No, I don't know how to raid anyway. Anyway, thank you for being here, everyone. It's been a pleasure. And it wasn't so bad after all. I don't know what I was worrying about. It's just a case of walking around, enjoying what I do and just chatting to people. Thank you all for being here. Have a nice sleep, Ira, and I'll catch you on your stream if you're streaming today, later on. I'm going to go back home and have some breakfast. And I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. Now, I've got to remember how to finish this. Take care, everyone, and I'll catch you.
mate.